Hi everybody. I wanted to do a quick kind of rant video about my loathing of 1980s synth drums or synth percussion. Now, I have always hated listening to uh, 80s music with synth percussion or synth drums on it, especially like um, early 80s because they don't even sound like real drums. I mean, I mean, and um, now as a drummer, as a kind of amateur drummer myself, I use because of challenges. I have to use uh, synth, or electronic drums. Now, the electronic drums of today have come leaps and bounds, from like the electronic drums of the 80s and early 90s because you know because the electronic drums of the early 80s or the 80s and early 90s didn't have very didn't have very much punch to them. It was they were all programmed, and it just didn't sound good, with the exception of bands like Mannheim Steamroller and a couple others. Uh, it just didn't sound good to me, and it it was rather. I thought it was rather distracting from the music, and like I said, electronic percussion has come leaps and bounds from the 80s. Nowadays, they sound like more like real drums, and there is um, there is a couple exceptions to this rule to this that I'd like to mention. One of which is the Beach Boys song "Get You Back." Now, the drum sound that they got while employing electronic drums on that record is just fantastic. It has a lot of bottom and a lot of punch to it, and but like I said, majority of the the electronic drum sounds in the '80s didn't. It just sounded rather flat and dead. And I've been wanting to do this rant video for a long time, and um, and like I said, because of challenges, I have to use I play electronic drums, and and like I said too, the the electronic drum sounds have greatly improved from the early days. And so, what are your thoughts on elect, you know, electronic percussion and '80s drums or '80s drum sound in particular? If I have any subscribers that were around in the '80s and remember what I'm or know what I'm talking about, please comment below. achieved using iPicky.com.